Hey guys, so I want to make a video talking about like why my ads work and stay approximately the same cost over the last 5 years, while most people cannot make advertising work for their coaching or consulting business. So if you don't know me, my name is Bryce Tubbs. My main coaching business is coaching accountants and bookkeepers how to grow their firm to generally like 6 figures. I also have a program where I show other coaching consultants how to grow their business as well. So I want to kind of talk about some different lessons I've kind of learned. So we have ran basically the same ad since about 2021 without having any kind of adaptations to the ads, like the copy, the way the ad goes, like there have been no change. I just literally set and forget it for about 3.5 years, right? Now the reason why we're able to do that is going to come down to a couple factors. So the main thing and the reason why I had to kind of like learn this version of advertising was because I bought a program and it cost me like $8,000 to learn how to like make advertisements. And basically the program was running like, it was like an ad running stuff to like this video webinar, and then people would like maybe book a call and then like maybe want to learn about working with me. And what happened was I would get people to book the call, and like number one, like those calls would be a little bit tough to convert in a lot of cases. Like I would get maybe like a 20, like every 1 out of every 5 people that booked a call would end up signing up. So it wasn't like terrible, but there was a lot of people that would like go and like, give me their email address for the webinar, or watch the webinar but then just not book a call, and I just like lose them forever. It just kind of felt like I was like wasting money, because like there's some people that want to buy today and like the ads are profitable. It's like, but where's all the rest of the leads going? Like just kind of felt like they were like being wasted, right? And that never really sat well with me. And then what happened was there was a day, I believe it was back in 2021, around like March or April of the year, when ads just like the Apple came out with this new update that said that they no longer share data with third parties. That means Facebook could not go and like look at their different look at the different users of iPhones to see what internet sites were they using or what internet sites were they kind of looking at. So it made it harder for Facebook's ads to actually be able to track the effectiveness of the ads. So a lot of people really like had a lot of trouble with that, and the VSLs became like a lot more expensive, and now even today the ad costs are going up, right? And it's because there are a little bit less people advertising on Facebook, and Facebook is now charging a premium to the people that are still on. And since the ads are not as effective at targeting people, it's causing it to be less effective. So not only are they charging us more money, but the ads are less effective. So you have to spend more money in order to get similar results to what you're getting in the past. So in a lot of cases, like people would have to get, maybe they would have to spend like $1,000 to get a $5,000 client. Nowadays, a lot of people are spending anywhere between like $3,000 to $4,000 just to get one client that pays them $5,000. Only making $1,000 profit per client with ads, right? That's why ads don't work for a lot of people, because it's just too expensive the way they do it, right? So my ad costs, on the other hand, have stayed at right about like $1,100 per client. So every time I spend $1,100, I generally get a client. Now, if you're asking like, why can't you just do this in perpetuity and like just make $1 quadrillion? It's because there are limits to how many sales calls you can take at this current moment, and it's also depending how you want your course in your program to be. I never really wanted to have like a massive course, because I don't believe that you have to go massive in order to make a really good amount of money. Because a lot of the times, like my money does not necessarily come just from having a really high revenue. Like, yeah, we do like between like 30 to 50K per month, right? And for some people, that's a lot of money, right? But there are other people that do like 100,000 a month or $200,000 a month, but it's not a very profitable 100,000 a month. So it just kind of depends on how you want to structure your business. I kind of prioritize to be able to have like, a little bit more on the lifestyle. So be able to get nice cars, be able to have like money that's going in the investment account, being able to go on trips whenever I want to, being able to go out to eat whenever I want to. Like I really prioritize having cash flow to support my lifestyle and support like, what I like to do in the world, and actually having like a lot of time to do it too, right? So I don't have a million clients I'm constantly like watching over. So this is kind of what this thing was bought. So the main thing is you run ads. Hopefully you can see this. It might be a little bit reversed sometimes, like when I write on the whiteboard gets reversed, because it's a mirror camera. So we'll kind of, I don't know how to turn off the mirror effect. Okay, so this is my right hand, for example. That should actually work. AD, Yeah, you should be able to see it correctly. Okay, so it stands for ads, advertisement, right? So I run my ads to a storage zone. Okay, we'll call it like this black box. We'll call it storage. From there, I have 3 different ways that someone ends up wanting to get on the phone with me. We'll call this, I'll say this is money, right? We'll say there's a phone call, right? Because I still do things like a phone call. So I actually want to meet the people who are coming in to like kind of like gatekeep. Like if I don't think someone can get results, I don't really want them in my program, right? Because I really I'm doing this for the long term. So you don't just want to like get a bunch of people in, you can't help them because then number 1, they're complaining, and number 2, like that can kind of ruin your reputation, right? So you always want to keep your reputation strong in the online community. That's why I do a phone call. So okay, so there's 3 different ways I get clients. Technically, there's a 4th way. I don't like it as much. So it is going to be Messenger, VAs, content, email, calling. Technically 5 ways. These other ones, these bottom 2 are not really stuff that I necessarily like do that much anymore. Like it's not they don't work. It's just not really worth it from the amount of time that you have to spend to kind of like get the stuff up to like actually make it work, right? There's actually a 6th way too. I forgot about it. Book, like they buy like a book funnel or a low ticket, right? But always start from a storage place, right? Because my big problem was I was like I'm paying for these leads and I get 1 client, but maybe like 200 people or 300 people have opted in to like see this webinar, right? So like, but where do all the people go? So yeah, I get 1 client, but I've spoken to 5 people. That means there's 295 people just kind of sitting out in limbo who have seen my face, they know my stuff I paid for, but I can't actually go in and be in contact with, right? So I switched it to being about like a storage. So a storage place can be anywhere from like a Facebook FB profile, IG profile. It could be a FB group, so Facebook group, right? Some place where I'm not going to talk about the different there are 3 main things you need to have in order for a storage unit to be like really good, right? So 3 components. So we'll call it 3. Oops, let me hold this so it doesn't go. Comps. Comps equals components, right? Let me see my notes. So number 1, you need to be able to bring in new leads. So the challenge that a lot of people have is like they might have a storage zone, but they can't bring in leads. So I need to either be able to organically get leads. It means I can like send a friend request and invite people into the group, or people can be sent to the group by Facebook itself directly. And I also need to be able to advertise to that storage facility. So for example, if you notice, I have Facebook profile, Instagram profile, but I do not have a LinkedIn profile. The reason why is because like LinkedIn ads are a little bit more expensive to try and like get them to come in. So usually to only be able to do like organically when you're like doing LinkedIn. Right, but for Facebook and for Instagram, you can run like a likes campaign to your Facebook business page or even to your personal profile to get people to follow you. Instagram, you can do the exact same thing, right? So it's like I can spend money, I can send friend requests to people to get them to go, or Instagram can even like promote my profile to new people for me, right? So it just makes it very easy for me to get new leads. The second thing that a good storage facility needs to have is you need to be able to communicate. Okay, so communication is number 2. The reason why it's important, right, is because, remember, I was afraid the leads were lost. Why is that important that you lose leads? Because there's a lot of people that will see your stuff today and just not trust you enough to buy. Like, it's very, very uncommon that people are just going to see one video of you or talk to you one time and then just blindly trust you to give you, $5,000 or $3,000, $5,000 or $7,000. They just don't know enough about you. Like think about it. Like, would you go up to someone on the street who says, like, let's say that you've been struggling with back pain for your entire life. You're walking down like the main street in your major city. Some dude on the corner basically goes, "Hey, come here. If you give me $5,000, I have this program that's gonna basically help heal your back pain." If you're in extreme pain, it's like been debilitating you, like maybe you'd buy, But 99% of people are going to be like, maybe, let me think about it. Let me come back to you tomorrow, right? Some of them are just not going to buy from you because they just don't even think that you're really going to do it. Some will not buy from you because they think that you're not even like a real business. Some people just are afraid. Some people just don't have the cash, so they have to go save up money to get the cash, right? So it's like, if you can't stay in front of these people or even build a relationship with them, they're not going to buy. Like 90% of them are not going to buy from you on that one exchange. So by being able to consistently communicate with them inside of my storage facility, we build a friendship. Like, there are people that like literally come and like, maybe the first time I spoke to them in Messenger, like they didn't have any money. They literally will save up money for like a year and a half just to go and like work with. Like I had a person on Friday reach out and say, hey, I saved up X amount of dollars, can I start with the program? I haven't spoken to her since like June of last year, right? And like, she's been watching my stuff. We've been kind of talking like, hey, you have any money today? Hey, you've been saving money? And it's just like, she says, oh, not right now. This kind of came up. My car got a flat tire or whatever. And now she saved money. Now she's ready to go. And like, she paid the thing to get started, right? But it's because I was able to communicate with her, okay? The third component that we need as well is we need to have the ability for leads to consume content. So if you notice, right, these are actually slightly out of order from my regular. So I usually talk about like an A, B, C framework, right? So audience, branding, conversion, okay? I'm kind of using communicate in like a different order. Usually this would be like the last one, right? But in this case too, if someone does not buy from you, they can watch your videos, they can read your posts, they can listen to your podcast. They become like more understanding of who you are, right? So new leads are important because it's just like, you need new blood in a lot of cases. Next, for communication, you want to see is how many of these people immediately want to buy from you. If you have like a percentage that doesn't want to buy from you, that's okay. Now they flow into your content, right? So now they start liking, they start learning stuff from you, they start trusting you, they start saving up money. Now they're ready to actually buy, right? And then the third thing is the conversion process. And again, that's just like, step number 4. So step number 4 in this kind of process. It's like 2 and 4, right? Because now you can come back to them and now you can see if they're ready to get forward or ready to just get on a phone call with you to learn about that, right? So it's 3 components of a storage facility. Now, in this particular case, what this looks like for me is that I have 6 different ways that someone can interact with me inside of my storage facility to be able to get money, right? So number 1, Messenger. So that's kind of what we talked about with step number 2 component, right? I can just message people, ask if they want to get started. Number 2 is virtual assistants. So I have other people, I have appointment setters and virtual assistants going inside of my Facebook group. Like let's say it's a Facebook group, right? Messaging people, asking if they want my help, right? Sometimes I might say, hey, Bryce made a new video. Do you want to see this, right? And we're tripwiring people into saying like they have a specific problem, which makes our conversation easier to get them on the phone. Number 3 is content. So not only does my content serve where people can learn more about me, they can learn stuff, but we have links inside of the content, whether it's a written post or a video post, where people click on that link, they book a call with myself, and then they want to buy, right? They just want my help. It's this content piece, oh my gosh, this changed my business, okay? The component 3 changed my business. When I was getting started, like a lot of coaches are gonna kind of tell you, like there's a lot of programs where it's like, just go out and message a million people, and then like just try and make some money like that, and like it works, and that'll get you like $3 grand, $5 grand, $10 grand a month. But I literally add an extra $100,000 per year just by having. That's actually no. Technically, I added about $150,000 to $200,000 a year just by having good content. Because all the people that would have told you no, they just end up liking you. Like, so it's just like, if someone ever tells me no on a consultation call, I'm just like, hey, how about this? Let me give you this like sheet of videos that you can go watch. And then like, maybe we should like meet back up in a couple days and maybe talk about it some more. When they come back up, 50% of the people that get on that call to do the follow-up actually buy. They'll pay in full. Like, it's just, you have, like, it's crazy. I think over time, I'll probably in like a different video, I'll talk about like what to put like on a post-call booking sequence so people actually want to buy from you. Let me write that down. Post-call booking sequence. Okay, that'll make you a lot of money too. That probably anywhere between like $50,000 to $100,000 extra a year just by learning how to do like the post call booking sequence. Okay, but that's content, right? So that's I can't stress enough, super crazy. Next is email. So like you can have like an email sequence that gets people like book a phone call. I personally don't like this one as much. It's not that it doesn't work. It's just it takes a lot more to get it to work than most people think it does. And it's like when it works well, but when it doesn't work well, or when it doesn't work, it's just annoying, right? So it's just like, yeah, and plus like it can be expensive too, because like, yeah, you are sending email and email's free, but if you're using a platform like an Active Campaign and you're not getting at least like, 2 or 3 clients a month from it, it's kind of like stupid, because like, for example, for me, Active Campaign, my Active Campaign bill, I believe it's like anywhere between like $500 to like $800 a month. Right, that's about $9,000 a year I spend on Active Campaign. So if I don't get at least like, let's say for my program I have a 5K program for Accountants and Bookkeepers. Let's say if I don't get at least like 1-2 clients a month from the email campaign, it's just not worth it for me. It's just not worth it, right? Because it just ends up breaking even, right? So it just kind of depends on me. It just kind of depends because that's the one that's been like the most hit or miss. Next is calling people. So calling people is actually very effective. Like, let's say you have 1,000 leads. I mean, you can get an extra like 2 sales a month, which, if you're selling a $5,000 program, 2 sales a month is extra 10 grand, just right there. So, I mean, I do actually like that version as well. It is a very good way that you can go and get clients. So that's another way we get clients, right? The calling is, I haven't done the calling for a little while for a number of different reasons. But it's just one of those things. The number one reason why I don't do the calling is because the show up rate is not as great as when you do the other methodologies, right? So like you'll get someone to book a call, but like in some cases they might not show up because you just literally just got called. Like they joined a group and someone just called like, hey, you want to buy something? They're like, maybe. And then they go through your booking stuff because they have no context about you, and they're like, oh, I don't know if I really want to buy something. So they like immediately bail on the call. So it's just kind of like, when the people do show up for the call, as a result of that, it is a really good call. And generally, like if someone shows up after you've cold called them on your phone call, they're generally gonna buy. Like it's actually very, very interesting to see. But the amount of no shows you'll get from that methodology, it just doesn't really make sense. I mean, unless you have like a sales rep. So that's the one reason why I don't do that. It just fills up your calendar. Part of learning how to scale a business, if you're the main sales rep as like the owner of the company, is like really balancing like which leads and which platforms give you the highest percentage of closing on a call versus like which ones are just kind of like a waste of time, right? So it's kind of like battling that. So like for me, I've kind of chosen to stick with these big 3: the content, messenger, and VAs, because I mean it's a free $350,000, $400K a year just from doing these 3 things. It's ridiculous. Okay, but that is how I make my advertisements work. And let me even kind of break this thing down even one step further. Let me erase the board. Oh, here's the napkin. So that's how I make my ads work, while most people can't make it work. But now I'm going to actually go through the economics of why have my ad costs not gone up. Okay, so for the ads that I run, right, it's remember what it is. It's a lead ad, right? So the cost for leads don't necessarily go up over time, right? Because Facebook optimizes to get you leads at a certain cost. The challenge is when it comes to Facebook trying to get people who are going to buy from you immediately. That's the challenge, right? Because that relies more on the Facebook. It's called a pixel, right? So basically what a pixel is, it's a tracking software that people put on their website that communicates to Facebook to tell them that, this person made a purchase. Remember, as I started the conversation, in 2021, Apple basically blocks Facebook's ability to go and send data to it accurately. So Facebook has to kind of guesstimate, like, okay, this person came from Apple and your website converts at this. That means there's probably a 20% chance this person bought, but we don't know exactly for sure. Now, what that happens is the pool of people that Facebook can actually say for certain is going to buy becomes smaller. And the less leads there are to go around, the more that Facebook is going to charge for the leads, right? Versus if you're running a campaign that's just designed to get like leads or engagement, Facebook knows for certain how many leads have come from this campaign because it stays on their profile, whether using an iPhone or an Android, doesn't matter. Facebook has 100% trackability of this thing. And when Facebook can track 100% of the data that it needs, it's a very effective system. So once it knows how to do that, right, and since it's on Facebook, it's going to track it with a very, 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 very high percentage of success. The costs are optimized around the same part because Facebook is trying to see like, how can I spend this person's budget to get the most amount of results with the least amount of spend? Because that way, if I do that, the people are going to keep advertising with me as long as possible. So by having the lead form, my costs have not risen since 2021. Right? And it's just like lead ads. So it's like either they message you or they send you a message first or they comment on your post or they do a certain activity or they follow you on Instagram. It's just very, very, very consistent. Facebook is very good at like finding something and then just coasting, right? Now, if you don't know how to make an advertisement, I'm going to make another video about that, right? Of course, we can talk about how to do ads. We cover that inside of our program as well. Like I'll look at your ads, see like what we should do to like kind of convert them, make sure it's good. If you don't have a Facebook group, we can help you build a Facebook group, or we can identify like, is a Facebook group the right thing for you? Is an Instagram group? Because I want to make sure that whatever you do, it's the least amount of effort to get the most effectiveness from it. So I'm not going to have you do something that doesn't really like work or it's not very effective. But that's why it's so important, to have someone inside of your corner. I mean, because there's a lot of coaches that are out here that you might buy one of their courses and like maybe their methodology worked a long time ago, but things kind of shift in this market very quickly. People's opinions change, people's buying patterns change very quickly. So if you don't have something that's up to date and like ready to help you, it can be really hard to kind of grow your business. Now, if you want some help, like maybe you've been watching my videos, whether you watched one video or 1,000 videos from me, if you feel that I'm able to help you out, I recommend you go ahead and book a call on my calendar by clicking the link either above or below the video to book a call with myself to see if I can help inside our program. Like if you've been trying to grow a coaching or consulting business, but just not quite going the way that you want, right? It might not be that you're doing things wrong. It might be there's a little detail that maybe or a belief that you have that's stopping you from being able to go and reach your goal. And by having someone who can speak into your life and be able to catch it right when the problem is emerging, it allows you to be able to skip those mistakes and go further. So if you want some help growing your business, maybe you invested a different coach in the past and didn't quite work out, right? There's probably a reason I can help you dissect that. If you want that help, if you want to see if I can help you in our program, go ahead and click the link inside the description, book a call. Let's see if it's a good fit. Right? And I feel for you if like you've bought a course and didn't work for you in the past. Like we'll kind of talk about maybe like what happened, what you feel went wrong, what should we change, what are some different things that are going, right? And I want to make sure that we can help you, right? Because it's tough when you put your trust in something, it just doesn't work out. But if you're going to be successful in business, you have to keep moving forward. You have to keep trying. Like I spent on 3.5 courses before I found the course that worked. So I had already spent, $6,000 on stuff that didn't work before I found the one that did. And then once I found the one that did, I just kept buying more and more and more, and I kept getting better and making more money, and the rest is history. So if you want to learn how to do this, book the call. I'll see you on the other side. If you're not quite ready, that's okay too. Keep watching more videos. They're there to help you, and learn some more stuff. Okay. So I'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your day. Take it easy.